All right. So I kind of discovered something today with respect to when I was installing my my MySQL server, and I realized that you might find yourself in a situation where you are locked out of your root account, either because either you missed the sequence of installation where you run the MySQL secure installation script before you set your root password, or you find yourself in a situation where probably you install a database and somehow you forgot the password you set, which has actually happened to me a couple of times in the past, where I was just maybe playing around some of this installation, and maybe a few weeks back, I've totally forgotten what I used to set the root password and stuff like that. So I was playing around today, and I felt like, oh, let me create this short tutorial that kind of explain what you can do to reset your MySQL password. You find yourself in a situation where you either locked yourself out of missing the necessary steps when setting up your MySQL database, or you forgot the root password for one reason or the other. So this will be a quick demonstration of what you need to do in doing that. So I have my instance running, as you can see, and I have the sudo systemctl status MySQL. You can see that MySQL is active and running. So now let's assume I'm trying to log into my system. Let me just say sudo MySQL -u root -p, and somehow let's assume for demonstration purposes I can't get access because I don't know the password. Now what you need to do, if you can see in my documentation, the first thing you need to do is to stop your running MySQL, because we are going to log in into the MySQL using the saved mode. So we are going to stop this. Then we are going to create we're going to create a folder called into the var and slash run MySQL D. We're going to create that directory or folder as the case may be, as you can see. So, and then we are going to make the MySQL the owner of that directory that we just created, both the owner. So MySQL will be the owner. Now we need to start the MySQL in the safety mode, and that is done using this command. All right. So when you do that, now you can now write MySQL -u root to safely log in into your MySQL. Now, after you are in your MySQL, right, you need to ensure that the database you are working with is actually MySQL database. Just for, although you actually there was to be sure that you're in the right database, you ensure that you run this to ensure that you are inside the MySQL database. Then you're going to update the MySQL user where the user is root. You are going to set the authentication string to null, where the user is going to is called root. So it's more like you're running a SQL query to update a user property. That you get, change and blah blah query okay, which means everything was successful. Then you're going to flush the privilege, which means that you want the change you just made to the user property to take effect immediately. So you're going to run the flush command to make that happen. Then you're going to set a new password by using the alternate command. For argument's sake, we are going to set this to, let me see, for demonstration purposes. So let me say I'm setting this to, let's say, let's say, password dot two. No, ideally the initial password is dot one anyway, but let's assume I don't know it was dot one. So let me set this to dot two, which is a new password. So this is good. So I'm going to flush the privilege also, as you can see. Then I'm going to exit. So I'm going to exit this. Let me clear my screen. Now we are still currently in the safety mode. So I need to stop the safety mode by killing the safety mode process. Right. So press enter again, then you get this done. I can clear my screen. Then I'm going to start the MySQL server in the normal mode, which is this. Paste. Now, if I now go to sudo MySQL root -p, then I type my new password, which is p capital password.2. I should be able to enter. Right. So that's how you reset a password for your root user in case, and I think the same method should work for any of the users, but I felt if you know your root password, you should be able to update password of any of your user on your database in case any of the user you created is having a password authorization issue. Thank you.